Hello everybody and welcome to That's Football. There's no way of dressing up it any better than saying that this January transfer window has already popped off. I reacted on the United stand last night to our number one target, Cody Gakpo, going to Liverpool in the space of a few hours. And then today, Enzo Fernandez is another transfer that looks like it's between Manchester United and Liverpool and could happen in January. A really good source from Argentina saying that Enzo Fernandez is returning to Portugal, Benfica, with his entourage who are prepared for a potential sale in January if somebody activates his release clause. And it is, let me remind you, the 27th of December. So what's going on? What is going on? What is prompting this eager beaver approach to this January transfer window, and why are people going in so hard when you would expect them to just sort of be a bit standoffish and wait until the summer? And I think there's a multitude of reasons for this. One, mainly that this season is so competitive in the Premier League that if you don't do something, you snooze, you lose, you're not in the Champions League next year, which I think is massively important. Liverpool wants a new owner, Man United wants a new owner, but you want to be in the Champions League. You don't want to be missing out on the Champions League, because if Newcastle get in and Man City are there and Liverpool are there and Arsenal are there, they're the big attraction, no matter whether you've got a new owner or not. And I think from Liverpool's point of view, that bad start to the season is not one that they want to risk in the second half of the season. So Gakpo comes in and gives them, 6 strong options up front now: Diaz, Jota, Gakpo, Nunez, Firmino, Salah. And then they want a midfielder in there as well, don't they? They'll believe they can then win the Champions League, the Cups, and get top 4. So you can see why Liverpool are doing it and not waiting till the summer. I just think it's exciting, but from a United fan point of view, it's very frustrating. From a Liverpool fan point of view, it must be very, 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 very exciting. And I think it's an indicator of what's about to happen. I just don't think you can sit there and do nothing. We know that João Felix is in the equation as well. But do I think Enzo Fernandez is going to leave Benfica in the January transfer window? There's a lot of stories out there. I spoke to Fabrizio Romano on the United stand on Boxing Day, so yesterday, and he was very much of the opinion that at that time, and things can change very quickly, that the only way that Enzo Fernandez would leave Benfica is if somebody pays the release clause in the first 2 weeks of January, and they won't want to. They won't really want to be negotiating beyond that. The release clause is 120 million euros or 100 million euros or something like that. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, but is his value ever going to come down? I suppose that's the way to look at it. If you're Liverpool or Manchester United and you go, well, we're not going to pay the release clause, we're going to try and negotiate with them in the summer, and Benfica just go, well, we will never negotiate, we will never not want £100 million, then if you are Liverpool or anyone else, you might just go, well, we want him now, we're going to have to pay that at some point, let's pay for football's very strange. I just think you can't predict what's going to happen. And do I think Enzo Fernandez will leave in January? I don't think logically it makes a lot of sense, but football's not always logical. And I think that Liverpool have always wanted Jude Bellingham, and maybe they're getting the indication they're not going to get Jude Bellingham, and maybe that's now pushing them to go and get Enzo Fernandez so they don't miss out on him. United's interest in Enzo Fernandez seems to have come very, very recently again, and apparently now we're the favourites to get him, but I don't know. I don't know what to say, because I think we're still shell shocked from the blow of Liverpool taking Gakpo off us last night, and I think that's a fantastic deal, by the way. I think Liverpool have acted very intelligently there in the January transfer window for the second year in a row, like they did with Diaz last year. They've gone in and got a player that's in a lesser league, Eredivisie, Portuguese league, but with a player that's tearing up there who definitely looks like they can do well in the Premier League, and they've gone in 37 million, could rise to 50 million. He's going to be worth that in a couple of years with Klopp developing him at Liverpool. So I think it's an intelligent deal. I think Liverpool need a midfielder though, and it's interesting that they've brought a forward in, and yet that midfield gap is still there. Now, are they going to wait till the summer? Are they going to do it now? I just think anything's possible with Enzo Fernandez at the moment. I think the fact is that release clause is there, which stops Benfica being able to go, he's not for sale, by the way. We can all sit there and say no one's paying the release clause in January, but I almost go, why? Why wait till the summer to do it? Why not do it now? if you're going to have to do it, why not just do it now? If you've got the money to do it, why not just do it now? I don't know whether Liverpool have got the money or not, but it seems like there is a bit of momentum growing that this could be a January thing with Enzo Fernandez. And maybe Liverpool don't want it to be a January thing. Maybe United don't want it to be a January thing. Maybe Real Madrid or anybody else who wants Enzo Fernandez doesn't want it to be a January thing. But you know what could make it be a January thing? The fact that one of those teams go, let's make it a January thing to try and get this deal ahead of everybody else. I don't, as a United fan, see how United can spend £100 million in January. I just don't know where we've got the money to do that, especially having not wanted to compete with Liverpool for Gakpo at 37 million. So where do they find 100 million from? I don't think they've got it. Do I think Liverpool have got it? I don't know. But the interesting thing is that there's a lot of talk about it. And as I say, if they pay the release clause, he can go. And it's not a normal January transfer window. I predicted this 2 months ago, that we've just had a closed season for the World Cup. It's all about to kick off again. Clubs are going to have to play so many games in such a short period of time. It's like a mini season, and if you get it wrong, it could damage next season. If you get it right, you could come out of it in a strong position for next year. And I think that makes it not a January transfer window. It makes it like a mini summer transfer window where you're basically bringing players in to set you up for next year. And I would not be surprised if somebody actually did go and do the ridiculous and pay the release clause for Enzo Fernandez. I don't think he's actually worth it at the moment. I think he's a brilliant player, but I don't think he's worth £100 million. But I think when you've got 3 or 4 top clubs looking at him, you suddenly are. You suddenly are worth that. So, and I'm not being a hypocrite there. What I'm saying is, do I think Enzo Fernandez is a £100 million player at the moment? No, I don't. But you are what people will pay for you, and if there are 3 or 4 big clubs competing for you, that price is going to hit 100 million very, very quickly. So, look, we'll have to wait and see, but there are very interesting journalists around the Argentinian camp who are saying that there is an expectation that this could happen in January, certainly in the summer. And I suppose when you think about it like that, the price ain't going to change in 5 months. Like, he's going to be 100 million in the summer, and he's going to be 100 million now. So I suppose if you're a football club, you just go, it's about the finances. Have we got that 100 million or won't we have it until the summer? And do we steal a march on our rivals if we do it? So I'm interested to see what's going to happen with it. I can't see United doing it. And I tell you what, if Liverpool do it and they get Enzo Fernandez and Gakpo in January, I mean, that's almost as good as that. I mean, you don't get many summer transfer windows better than that. It would be mad. And, you know, this is only the start. What's everyone else going to do? So very, very interesting. But I'll go back and say what I've said before. If you snooze, you lose in this transfer window. You have got to go and get the business done, because look at how competitive top 4 is. We did the Premier League predictions on Christmas Eve, was it? And, you know, Spurs did drop points against Brentford. Newcastle, massive win. Brighton, big win. Liverpool win. Arsenal win. And it doesn't look like teams are going to drop points easily. It looks like relentless race for this top 4, and you need to improve your squad and you need to improve your first team, and that January transfer window is the opportunity to do that. If you've got weaknesses, now is the time to fix them. And I think Liverpool have probably looked at it and gone, we've got to be relentless. Week in, week out, we've got to be relentless. 3 games a week for 5 months, we've got to be relentless. Have we got the squad to do that? Not really. Let's get another forward in, Gakpo. Let's get a midfielder. And if that midfielder is Enzo Fernandez, Liverpool come again for me. They do. But I think they need a midfielder. I think I look at that Liverpool team and I think that is the weakness. You know, Henderson's good, Fabinho's good. There's a lot of Harvey Elliott talk, Thiago, but it lacks a Bellingham. It lacks an Enzo Fernandez. It does lack that something. Just one really top quality player to add into the numbers that they've got. And it's their biggest area. And are they going to wait till the summer, or are they going to do something about it in January? You get the feeling. And the thing about Liverpool as well is, unlike United, the thing about Liverpool is they can be not linked to somebody at tea time, and then they can have them signed by bedtime. They are so fast. And if I was a Liverpool fan, I'd be very, very excited about what you might do, because it's only the 27th of December. You've already sorted a forward out. January's not even started, and you're being linked to Enzo Fernandez. So let's wait and see. It's gonna take the release clause. You know, let's not pretend that there's a deal that can be done. It will take the release clause, but the fact that that release clause isn't ridiculous and that other clubs are thinking about paying it means that if you pay that release clause, you probably get the player. Get your comments in below. Is Enzo Fernandez going to go in January, and where will he end up? And what are your thoughts on this January transfer window? Is it a case of snooze you lose, and who is going to win it? Get your comments in below. Thanks everyone for watching. We are back tomorrow. We've got a watch along tomorrow. It's Man City against Leeds at Leeds. So tune in tomorrow night for that as well. But I think we're going to be very busy talking about transfers as well. Speak to you all in a bit. Take care.